What's going on, EPW Nation? It's your boys from the Everything College Basketball Podcast, Josh and Peyton, here to remind you all that college basketball season is right around the corner. Yes, we finally know it's right around the corner, and Peyton, there's only one place people should go for all the college basketball excitement.
Well, Josh, the only place to find all college basketball hoops all the time is Everything College Basketball. Everything College Basketball can be listened to on several podcast hosting sites like Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And we can also be found on our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Everything College Basketball.
Yes, make sure you are joining the group with a couple other 100 people and growing by the day as we march into year number 3 of the Everything College Basketball networking system. Now, let's get back to Conrad and Everything Pro Wrestling.
Once again, you already know what it is, and you already know where you have reached the number one collaborative pro wrestling podcast anywhere in the world. To my immediate left, the esteemed, the notable, the very educated, awesome, my brother, Conrad Cushman's in the building, representing Everything Pro Wrestling. Me, I'm just Sean. I'm in the building. Sean Hubbard, Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. Collectively, we are Clash of the Podcast. Before we get started, man, much love and condolences to the family of Butch from the Bushwhackers. We want to definitely show love as he is no longer with us. In spirit, yes, but in the natural, no. So God bless you, Butch, and your legacy will live on forever. The Bushwhackers were a tremendously fun team. But more importantly than that, man, we just want to pay love and homage and respect to you as a human being. So sleep in peace. God bless you. God bless your family. And with that somber note, we're going to probably, we brought you down a little bit to bring you back up. We're going to talk WrestleMania. We're going to talk merger with UFC. We're going to talk a lot of crazy, wonderful things tonight as we get ready for WrestleMania Raw. Conrad, you know what to do. Drop that thing, bro.
Yes. WrestleMania 39 is in the rear view now. It was a task for me. I'm not gonna lie. I did a lot of shows, a lot of podcasts, but it was worth it, man. It was worth it. Sean also mentioned RIP to Bushwhacker Butch. I just wanted to make that known. I had the graphic up, and I'm glad he had brought that up immediately for it. Sean, what do you want to start with, man? What do you want to kick off with? Or you know what? Let's give some shout outs to the peeps in the chat too.
Yeah, let's do that.
Joel giving us the RIP Bushwhacker Butch, man. Absolutely. My man Doug's in the house. Dougie Fresh says, "Hey yo." Sir Quills, what up, Quills? Me and Quills watched night 1 together. What it do, Conrad, Sean? The chat, let's get ready for yet another dope episode, the WrestleMania edition of Clash of the Podcast. That is
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Matt Lopez says, good evening, and RIP Bushwhacker Butch. Let's see here. Must be Monday. Here's what's on top for Raw. Roman and Solo versus Cody and a mystery partner. A special guest joining the LWO. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defending the tag titles, and a Triple H announcement. I have missed most of this today.
I've missed all of it. Good Lord.
Yeah. Deanna said, so sad about Butch. Deanna, welcome. I appreciate you.
Welcome.
BJ is still tight about last night's main event, but it's almost meaningless next to the news of the sale today. We will be getting into both of those things. Anthony Manzano Hashtag MOB. Hello, how are you, brother? Hope things are good. Matt Lopez said, adrenaline in my soul. Gomez Adams is back in control. Terrible. Lady Kenzie, how are you? Welcome to the chat. Happy UFC merger day. E, I'm gonna need you to stop trolling right now. Right now with that. McKinney said, yo, I'm here to talk wrestling. Remind y'all, walk it like you talk it. Let's go. For you guys are fans, for you guys as fans, where do you think the best fit for Braun Breaker is going to be, SmackDown or Raw? You don't want Sean's opinion.
Unemployed.
Wow, they went from a vicious team in the Sheep Herders to fan favorites in the Bushwhackers. Very dynamic performance. That is true. Wrestle Bootia. What? What's good, Rated? I see you're in the chat as well. I think it's going to be good for the WWE that UFC is doing that. EPW was MVP of the weekend. Man, I appreciate that, McKinney. Thank you. Here's Derek in the house. Yo. IPBU. I don't know what that was supposed to say. RIP Bushwhacker Butch. Okay, he cleaned it up in the next one. Joel, they're talking about it. So many news videos today. Yeah. I'm sorry, Lady Kenzie. She did not know about Bushwhacker Butch. That just broke before we started. Like, I'm not even kidding. I would say like 15 minutes ago I read it. But RIP to Bushwhacker Butch. Sean, what do you want to do for a sale?
Yeah, let's talk about the sale first. I mean, it's kind of like the news of the day.
All credit to these images to Endeavor, Fightful, whomever. If it's your image, credit to you. Some of them aren't watermarked. I'm sorry. Not my fault. I found them. I Googled them. But I know who they belong to when I got them. So let's get into it, man. Here it is. April 3rd, 2023. Endeavor. We got them UFC title. I thought the WWE title was hideous. That UFC title is oogly.
Yeah, it's rough.
I miss the old ones, man, how they used to have them. But Sean, you're the combat sports expert of us on the podcast. What do you think of this merger, man? I don't know. You're the person who I would go to for this, because someone asked me today, what does this mean going forward? Like, how do you expand your business? And I'm like, to me, you would probably want to acquire a boxing organization after that. Do I think that's possible? No, not at this point in time. But they sound like they want to be the all combat sports enterprise. Like, they want to run combat sports. What do you think of this news?
First of all, I appreciate you, brother. Expert might be a little bit of a stretch, but I know a little something. I think it's a smart acquisition by UFC, by Endeavor. I think that they've made a conscious decision to diversify their already massive portfolio in the combat sports world. They truly can call themselves the king of combat sports at this point, having the number one professional wrestler. You got to remember, there's more than one, right? So now they have the number one wrestling organization in the world, statistically, and they have the number one mixed martial arts, because a lot of people, and that's a credit to UFC, a lot of people say UFC when they mean MMA. UFC is a company that is MMA. Let's make that perfectly clear. When people, do mixed martial arts, karate, Muay Thai, all that stuff, they're doing MMA. They're not doing UFC, but that's a credit to UFC for making themselves so recognizable. When you look up something on the internet, you're not technically Googling something. You're looking it up on the internet. You just use Google all the time. So now you say you Google it, right? You could Yahoo it, you could AOL it, but you're Googling it. So at the end of the day, that's what UFC has done. They've made themselves the number one MMA company in the world, and they've now acquired, through Endeavor, the number one professional wrestling organization in the world. The thing that becomes a little bit of a concern is the price point for the pay-per-views and other changes that they might make moving forward. The network has been around since 2014. The initial pay-per-view that WWE produced on the network was WrestleMania 30. That is now 9 years ago. As a matter of fact, I take that back. I believe it was Elimination Chamber of that year was the very first, and then WrestleMania 30. So that was the kind of the breakout point for the network. So you fast forward 9 years, We all know what UFC's MO is when it comes to pay-per-views. They have the ESPN deal, and they charge you extra for their pay-per-views. I believe that's the route they're going to go, which is very sad for all of us. But that's more of a money situation. Do we feel that it's kind of a steal getting WrestleMania as a free for, kind of essentially free as part of a $9.99 package? If I'm being honest, yes. I don't want it to change, but yes. A $50 pay-per-view. I mean, WrestleMania being free as part of a $9.99 service is ridiculous. I love it as a fan, but if I were part of their business model, I think it's completely ridiculous. So you have marquee names on the MMA side. Conor McGregor now to a lesser degree. John Bones Jones is once again the UFC champion, this time in the heavyweight division. So they are not lacking for any kind of star power over there. And this really paves the way for the potential of crossover pay-per-view appearances, which I think is exactly what the world of combat sports needs. Will WWE botch it? We don't know. But Endeavor, Conrad, my brother, has made a move that could be considered on the level of WWE acquiring WCW in 2001. It is that big. This is the merging, I'm going to say it again, of the biggest MMA corporation and the biggest professional wrestling organization in the world. That is a win. If they don't screw it up, it's monumental.
Yes, I have a lot of questions for the moves that they're deciding to make with all of this. You mentioned the pay-per-views. I guess we'll get into that first. I feel like, Sean, you can't put the genie back in the bottle. You have pay-per-views, right? Mm-hmm. You can't give me pay-per-views for $9.99 and say you're going to get all of them and all this great content, and then we go to Peacock. We don't get any specials anymore. Has anyone else noticed that? There are no more. Remember, we used to get like the cool, this is what we've got coming up for the next, quarter when it comes to pro wrestling. You don't get that anymore. You know why? Because they're selling it to A&E. They're giving it all away. You know what you bought Peacock for? The pay-per-views. That's all they want. They don't care about that past content. Sean may go on there to watch Superstars for our podcast. Sean may want to go on there and watch, and I'm not being funny, I'm being dead serious. People don't go on there for the classic stuff for the most part, but we will because we're old school fans. There's fans out there who want to see NWA. I like to go back and watch Mid-South sometimes just because I never watched it as a kid. So I'm going back and I'm like, let me study what was going on back then and why they were making these moves. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is crazy. Look at this technology. Our podcast is produced almost better than this. You know what I mean? Like with the cameras and stuff that we have today. It's interesting to go back and see. But I don't know if you can go back to charge it. Sean, if I told you a WrestleMania pay-per-view is happening, I can't make it to your party. It's just you. It's $80. Are you paying $80 for WrestleMania now after you've had it for almost a decade at 10?
Your example is flawed as it relates to WrestleMania. Name any other pay-per-view. Name Backlash. Name Survivor Series. And the answer would be no.
Oh, the B shows are crushed.
Okay, so to answer your question, yes, just because it's WrestleMania, bro. But that does not nullify your point in any way because Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, King of the Ring, Backlash, Money in the Bank. The answer is no, brother. I am not coming out of my pocket paying that much money. WrestleMania, I might bite the bullet because it's WrestleMania. But other than that, absolutely not. So I understand exactly what you're asking.
And I listened to that interview with Nick Khan where everybody started saying this pay-per-view talk. It's always important to listen to the interview. Here's why. Nick Khan never said that WWE would charge you $80 for it. They would sell it to somebody for them to charge you. Nick Khan wants the guaranteed money. We're going to get real business dorky in this one, so prepare yourself.
Let's do it.
When it comes down to it, let's say Disney wanted WrestleMania 40, right? Philadelphia, Disney's like, we want it. Okay. The price for it is $1 million. I'm totally making this up, so we're working with easy numbers here. Here's your $1 million, WWE. Okay, I don't care how you get your money back for it. That's your business. They're counting their money already. We're going to put on the show. Don't worry. And Disney's over here like, okay, I need $80 from each of you to recoup the money that we spent on this. I'm sure they're going to pay more than $1 million for it too. There's going to be bidding wars for all this stuff. Disney's the one charging you that money, not WWE. They already got their money. They want the guarantee. Like I said, this is why the fans don't matter, Sean, in these situations anymore. This is another fear with it. You don't matter because you're not the one paying for it. Guess who's paying for it? The companies. But they need us there. They have to care about us enough for us to be in the seats. They have to care about us enough for us to be there. But other than that, do you care about my opinion? No. What's going to make you happy, Disney? That's how they're thinking now. That's their logic. What makes you happy? So I can't see myself paying more money for the pay-per-views. I think I've just become too used to it, and I don't feel them enough to want them. You know.
I skipped Supercard of Honor, and I didn't skip Supercard of Honor because I wanted to. I skipped Supercard of Honor because I had with this wrestling weekend that we just had. And Conrad, I know you can attest to this. With this wrestling weekend that we just had, my woman was like, "We're going out on date night one of these nights, so you pick one." so Friday night was that night. But I say that to say this: $80 is a lot of money, brother, and I just can't see. And who's to say that they wouldn't charge us $100 for WrestleMania? I'm not convinced that they wouldn't. You have to understand that this now has changed the landscape. And let me give you another little tidbit of possibility, bro. Who's to say that the powers that be in Endeavor are fans of Roman Reigns as champion? Now, we do know the facts. We do know that we've had three consecutive billion-dollar years, all with Roman Reigns at the helm as champion. But you know what? And this coming from the son of an accountant, who's to say that the powers that be at UFC or Endeavor specifically are not going to use WWE as a financial crutch? What do I mean by that? What if they want to change things up, and what if WWE does go into a deficit? You know what happens then? Oh, that's the end of WWE. Not necessarily. It could be a tax write-off. Anything can happen. Anything can be manipulated and turned into a money-making scheme. They do not care, like you just said accurately, they do not care about the fans. They care about money. And when you care about money, anything can happen. They can go into a deficit. They can write it off as a tax situation. They can have whatever they want to be done. They can eliminate NXT. You never know what might happen. And at the end of the day, I think the WWE, the landscape has changed forever by this deal. And it's really up in the air. It's really 50-50, bro, about whether it's going to be a good change or a bad one.
Yeah, it's going to really depend, because I'm going to say this. For those who don't know, Endeavor remains pretty handoff. I know that we have the I don't know if it was CNBC. I think that's who it was who did the interview earlier. I'll look at it once it's the watermarks in the corner. But we don't know exactly how things are going to be, but I can tell you how it was with UFC. Dana White's still in charge. This dude is hands off. This is what most people don't know, that though, because if Vince McMahon took over, let's say Vince McMahon wanted to buy Clash of the Podcast, bro, you guys are done. We're going to have earpieces in our ears. We're going to be getting yelled at instantly. Sean, talk about Manscaped. More vigor. Yes. Okay. All right. And then, I'm going to be over here, Michael Cole in it. Yes, boss. Yes. Yeah. No problem, boss. Yeah.
Yes, yes, sir. I love you, sir. Sir. I love you.
Pat will do it right away, sir. Mm-hmm. But they go into it like that. Like, Vince would take over and his prints are all over it. With this situation, why did it make the most sense for Vince? Me and Sean have been saying this since they kicked him out. He wanted in. I don't care what he said in that interview. If someone brings it up, I'm going to say, you know what? I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second that he didn't want back in. Why did he have to force himself back in to do this? Nick Khan could have did this without him. He still would have got paid. What was the difference? He wants back in. He wants back in. Let's go to the comments here. Shout out to Eric Douglas, B-Boy Skyline. I saw XG Dub. A couple other people have joined us. Thank you, everyone. If you guys haven't, make sure to hit that like button for us. Helps us out. Also, subscribe to Sean. His stuff's all in the description. It's in all the WrestleMania videos. We did descriptions too. Show him some love. Subscribe to the channel. He's got you. I've got you. Continuing. Oh, hold on. I want to start with Doug. Doug said WWE featured endeavored themselves. I see what you did there, sir. I see what you did there. Joel says it makes the most sense. They all do the same business. There's some crossover too with the fan bases too. Talk about the mustache first up. What do you think of Vince's new look? You're a man of style.
I think he's a freaking creep, and it makes me sick.
We've been calling him Gomez on here.
No, but it's beyond that. He's a freaking creep. He looks like somebody looking at your 16-year-old daughter through the window.
Come on now. That is slander. We know nothing of that here. Vince McMahon, I don't know what you do in your spare time, good sir. You enjoy. Don't sue me. Do you think we can see talent signing with who is Wing? I don't know who that's supposed to be. Let's see here. It makes sense. They do identically the same thing. Vince looks like Clark Gable. All he needs is a pinstripe suit and some saxophone, some sad saxophone. VKM Noir. Derek said, my guy Hubs.
Derek.
UFC 278 is Saturday 2. Izzy versus Piera 2. Masvidal versus Burns is the co-feature. Doug says it's like Yum Brands, Pizza Hut, KFC, Taco Bell, all are the same parent company, but operate separately. Could be. They could do it like that. I wonder what happens to the business relationships, Sean. That was the other thing I was thinking of.
Right.
What happens to so WWE's in contract negotiations? Does UFC stop because of this? Like, I'm trying to think of other mergers like T-Mobile, Sprint. Would your contract stop, or do your contracts continue until the end of those, and then WWE, you're free to negotiate over here as part of our new brand?
I think instead of thinking about it in a parallel way, I think it's more of a crossover. That's kind of the way it works, in my opinion. It's one of those things where it's like UFC is going to do their individual business, WWE is going to do its individual business, with the powers that be seeing over both. And like you said, both don't really have hands on the other product. However, when there's a conflict, bro, that's the issue. When there becomes a financial conflict, that's when somebody's going to step in and say, hey, listen, we have to cut costs here, move this over there. And somebody's going to be left out in the cold, not trying to be happy about what happened and how it went down. So that's the issue. And like I said, again, I can't stress this enough. Maybe it wouldn't be as volatile or as potentially volatile if it was Bellator, right? Or maybe it wouldn't be as potentially volatile as if it were AEW. But when you have WWE, which is number one, and UFC, which is number one, they want UFC to continue to get these huge numbers for their pay-per-views. They want WWE to continue getting these big numbers for their pay-per-views or their subscriptions. And if there's a conflict, whether it's a contract negotiation, whether it's a negotiation with venues or cable companies, it's going to eventually be a problem if they overlap each other.
Yeah. Somebody said bring back $50 pay-per-views. Man, listen, you don't want to know how much they used to cost when it was me and Sean back in the day.
Yep.
Like, bruh, $50. My parents would look at me like I was crazy. When they were like 25, they used to look at me like I was crazy.
It was like pulling teeth. And as an adult with a kid of my own, I understand why it was like pulling teeth. It's very expensive. Back in the day, 25 was 50.
Right. WWE doesn't make money for their pay-per-views. Yeah, I think they do.
I think they do too.
Yeah, you got that bill because you do the pay-per-views.
Yeah, they make money off them. Don't ask me how, because I'm not going to act up. I'm not going to sit up here and talk vehemently about something I don't know anything about. But I do believe that there's a price point that rolls off of the pay-per-views. Yes,
it's just done differently. So here's that was my point back in the day. Back in like Survivor Series 92, a show we both have seen probably countless times. They had to convince young Conrad and Sean to go beg their parents for the money. Or if you're a wrestling fan, you had to go find a way to scrounge up the money if you wanted to see this show. That's why we mattered. Now we don't matter. Peacock matters.
That's right.
You guys got how many people? Things are up. Things are looking good. Cool. Our check's coming, right? All right, great. Can't wait to see that $1 billion over the next 5 years that you're going to pay us. And I'm sure they split it up.
Well said.
and send it out. EA is going to make the next game. Y'all going to wish 2K was back. Chill with that, E. So after today, we not going to see any more photos of Vince in that god-awful mustache and jet black hair. That might be his natural hair. You never know. Looking like the bad guy from Magnum PI episode. Terrible. They said they aren't going back to the pay-per-view format anytime soon. That would be disastrous for them. I agree. I don't think they have enough of a roster to charge yet to do something like that. I think that's a sound
assessment on your part.
There won't be crossover appearances. I don't think there will be. I think there's an opportunity to, though. Like, let's say
I don't think this is not you, Conrad. I'm speaking to Joel specifically. I don't think that there won't be crossover appearances is the way to word that, because that sounds pretty definitive. I don't think anything's definitive at this point. I think anything is possible at this point. Is it likely? I would agree. Huh?
He followed up after. He said very, very few.
Okay. Well, then in that case, then I agree. Yes, the very, very few part makes it an accurate statement. Thank you for clarifying that, because I think there's a chance. Unlikely, but there's a chance.
Yeah, people are getting into it with that. Sick, what up? Sick's joining us on Twitch. Appreciate you, family. I see the Buck Nasty in the profile picture. They are exaggerating the situation, LOL. Yeah, some fans are acting like it's the end. Some people are acting like this is the greatest thing I've seen too. And I'm like, pump the brakes. Let's see what they do here. When that Peacock deal ends, I can see them moving or staying, but charging on big pay-per-views like Mania, SummerSlam, and Rumble. Well, don't listen. They got television rights deals coming up too.
Yes,
that's very key. I don't know. Listen, Sean, without getting too political, I think the Fox deal was a favor. There was no way if you would have brought me SmackDown, Sean, in its past form, and we're like, Conrad, I want you to buy this for $1 billion. You in? I would have told you no. Absolutely not. I'm not in, because I know what the ratings are. Are you kidding me? I've seen what it produces. No way. I don't want it. That's not what happened, though. You got to remember who's Vince friends with. So I'm going to leave it at that. Think of the connections. Who could have got Vince that bigger deal? We know. And I think a favor was called in. And is Fox happy with it? Maybe. Maybe not. They seem like they want a lot of favors.
I think they were happy with it. I think hindsight being 2020, they're not as infatuated with it as they were.
Maybe they thought they were getting NFL numbers, but I could tell you weren't getting that. Vince's hair is sponsored by ExxonMobil. The stock is currently valued at $106 per share. Woo! That might be all-time high. People already think fights are fixed sometimes. How does UFC being under the same umbrella as WWE help that perception? That's a good question. What do you think, Sean, about fights being fixed? I mean, you come from the world of boxing where people say that too.
Yeah, a little bit of a jaded perspective, yet understandable, Casey. I can see where you're going with that, and I understand that that's kind of the consensus opinion. However, I think it's fraudulent. Not your statement, because your statement is valid in question, but the premise I think is fraudulent, because we got to go with what we know, right? And there's been no edification of proof to solidify that kind of accusation, right? But at the same time, we have to be smart enough to understand that there's still a possibility of that. And to answer the initial question, being under the WWE umbrella, it doesn't help. I'll give you that. It does not help, because that's going to further perpetuate the possibility of people thinking that way. Do I think that is the case? No, but I think it's not conducive to people feeling that way, because WWE is not a authentically sport type of product. Does that make any sense?
I hear you. I am one of those jaded people, though. And I'm talking football or anything. Okay. I do think that there is an element of you can abuse certain things.
Okay.
In football,
but I think you need to elaborate on that.
Yes, football. There is holding on every play. But Sean, if the New York Giants are about to upset Tom Brady and the Patriots in this great season moment opening, I'm looking for a hold. But
you know what? Let me cut you off right there, and I'm going to cut you off and put you right back on. Let's talk about this past Super Bowl, right? Without getting too deep into it, there was a significant hold that took place on the final drive of the game. It was Bradbury on the. Why am I drawing a blank on this? This is ridiculous. On the Philadelphia Eagles when they played the Kansas City Chiefs, and it was a play where Bradbury held them. He did hold them, and it goes to your holding on every play premise, which I agree with. He held them, and that gave him an automatic first down. There would have been about a minute and a half to go, where Kansas City would have had to kick the field goal, and Philly would have had a minute and a half to come back and win the game. Instead, they called a hold. Kansas City was able to run the clock out, kick the game-winning field goal with no time left. Kansas City wins. Now, was that hold scripted?
I wouldn't say it was scripted. I mean, it happened part of the game. It's no different NBA. You go in. Some people, this is a foul. This is a foul. I've played in leagues. I played in rec leagues over here, like C leagues. This is where like the average dudes just go to play basketball with their friends, get jerseys and do all this stuff. For those who don't know, I was in one time. One of the refs, I ended up working with him afterwards, and I'll never forget this. He came in for an interview after. So this happened before I knew he was going to apply for a job where I worked. I went in, bro, and I go down. It's like one of the last plays. I get demolished in the paint, and I'm a big dude. I play center, so I know you get hacked. I'm down on the ground, bro. I point at my wrist, and you see a handprint. And he was like, "You didn't think that was a foul?" He was like, "No, that was clean." They were like, "Hold out your arm, bro." And I hold it out. You just see a handprint. He was like, "I'll look for it next time." Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Yeah. We're about to lose the game because we didn't get that call. And I just laughed about it. And actually, when he came in, I'm not gonna lie, I won't say the brother's name because I really like him. He came in, I was like, "Man, remember that call I didn't get?" He started laughing. I was like, "I'm gonna make sure now, buddy." And he was like, "I'm sorry, man. I should have made that call." And I always messed with him. He got hired, but I always messed with him after that. Like, yeah, remember that call I didn't get? Vince just rubbed one of those ducks from Dial ads on his dome. Leave that man and his hair alone, E. All right, that Vince looks like he likes to tie women in train tracks to get the town folk to give up their land. What?
Wow.
Man, I watch a lot of WCCW in Mid-South.
As you should, ML. As you should. Those are great promotions.
Joel says he pays $80 for the UFC pay-per-views.
Oh, God bless you, brother. God bless you.
Listen, I'm telling everybody now, if you know me and we're watching WrestleMania together, you better start bringing $10. That's all I'm going to tell you. Pizza is not covered. That will be an additional piece of money. Sonny Bimbo in the chat was good, Sonny. UFC had a different pay-per-view model than WWE. Vince looks like he chilled with that. Man, Vince is going to do one thing. It's cut $1 billion deal and stay a prominent figure amid a sex scandal. Here's the other thing. This guy is with Dana White. Dana White didn't get in trouble for the altercation with his wife. You think Vince, this is gone. It's over. It's done in his eyes. It's done. They were laughing together and all that when they were bringing it up. Let me see. People are talking. Joel says Ari Emanuel will oversee everything, but Vince and Nick still heads of WWE. Sean, do you know anything about the business background of him? Like, is he a marketing guy? Like, what's his thing?
My understanding, and it's very limited, is that he's more of a marketing / promotional guy who is like really excellent. Like they always say, be a master of one thing instead of just efficient in a lot. I think that's his niche, honestly, and I think he's parlayed that into quite a career.
Right. Let me see here. I don't know what we're talking about. He said, how much money people make from distribution rights. We got people talking about the son of a plumber daddy, if you will. WWE could turn into WCW. McKinney comes and he says, back in my day, we paid for them all, and you had to ante up with friends back then, or you were only going to buy the best show. Yeah, that's true. If you're not in attendance, that's the show you're going to miss. Yeah, man, I remember when I first got like a job, I was just starting college and stuff, and I could buy my own pay-per-views. Like I had my own money. I can buy it. And I'll never forget, I bought a pay-per-view where John Cena and Randy Orton was the main event. Guess what happened? John Cena was hurt. So they changed the whole pay-per-view card around. And I think that was the day I was like, yep, I'm never ordering anything unless it's WrestleMania ever again.
No mercy. No mercy.
Yep. Thank you. It was CNBC. Ari left Dana in charge, and he sold 9% of the business, made $400 million. Same with WWE. Ooh. I believe I am owed an apology because for a second thought that was R-Truth in that Prime bottle. My bad. Talk about WrestleMania and KSI. If Vince buys this podcast, you guys are done. Won't hesitate to go NWO on us, huh? No. Listen, Vince can't afford this podcast. All right?
Sean, tell everybody Jey Uso doesn't deserve a main event push. Okay, Vince, I guess.
Too sweet me, brother. Too sweet me. Vince always said he would sell it before leaving it for his kids. That's sad. I don't know. I won't even get into that whole relationship thing here. D Money says, big facts. My mom was like, get out of here with that. My pop had the bootleg with the pay-per-view channels.
Wow, I love it.
I never had the black box, man. Never had the black box. Casey said, I don't think crossovers are that unlikely. Not necessarily for wrestling matches, but I definitely think that they might be in someone's corner or something, similar to how Paige and Scorpio Sky used them in AEW. Sean, I don't think fights are fixed. That's CJ who does. He's a conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
Listen, y'all, all I'm saying is I ain't seen. Sometimes I wonder how long a drought could go for some teams for that. You've been bad for that long, and then they're all of a sudden they're great. They're good. No, there's no problems with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I didn't know you were that guy, bro.
I can be with it.
Okay.
Listen, I think it's true. You
I
gotta
mean,
watch.
I don't see. I think pro sports. First of all, you also got to understand. There's so many eyes on pro sports since the Pete Rose thing years back. It's very hard
to elaborate on that. You know, another one that blew my mind, which changed me forever: the Sacramento Kings and the LA Lakers. That game where they hit the buzzer beater. I'm like, yo, that didn't count. That didn't count. And then to go back and find out that ref went to jail for all those games.
Oh, well, okay, so let me give you the counterpart of that. Of course, with Donahue, being who he was, right? That's fine. But at the same time, that means every game he ever refereed, you have to take into consideration, not just the Kings and the Lakers.
There's a lot of it. But listen, the Lakers were the king of the town. I always felt like that was the NBA's team. Like that, those are my guys. And I think that's what it really comes down to is, are you LeBron James? Are you going to get away with this? You know what I mean? Like LeBron James can be more outspoken. You know why? He's LeBron James. But if someone else tried that, I'm trying to think of someone, Trenton Hassel, that I used to appreciate from the Timberwolves. Great defensive player. But nobody knows that name when I bring it up right away, right? Like you got to think for a second in the memory bank. Nobody's giving Trenton Hassel the time of day if he started talking crazy like LeBron does sometimes. I think he's not going to get the foul call that LeBron gets. So that's what I think happens. Tom Brady, they made rules for this dude. They made rules up for him. Like Derek's probably in there going off. I don't care. They made up rules for these people, man. But to your point though about all of this, let me see here. We're getting a lot of good comments. I like this convo. UFC, MLB, all predetermined like pro wrestling. Maybe not the exact scores and stats, but hey, this team wins by so many points. Make it look good. I don't know if they go that far. Like I said, I think it's just the calls. The refs know, like, listen, you know who's our guy. Don't let me. Tom Brady ain't getting hurt on this drive. You understand? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Do you think we get back to budget cuts? Eric says. Sean, do you want to break the truth?
Probably. That's a really good question, Douglas. I think so. I think Pyro might go away. There might be less production value again. We might be going back to the Stone Age, man.
Yeah, Sick, I will not repeat that line that you put in there because I know that someone's device will go off if I repeat that quote. I think the first people cut, Sean, are going to be the staff inside. If you work inside that building, if you're not a pro wrestler, you should be very worried right now. Very worried. And alliances and allegiances don't matter. Wasn't like Chuck Liddell promised a job forever at UFC?
He was, and it never happened. Never came to fruition.
Yeah. That's the problem with these big mergers, man.
If the Iceman can't keep a job in MMA after all the stuff he's done, my God.
Yeah. And if you guys have ever wondered what Ari looks like, that is him right there.
So evil, bro. I don't. Yeah, man. Look at him. He looks like the freaking devil, man. Bro, like I'm not calling him the devil.
Is that better?
Holy crap!
Is that better or worse?
For the love of God, like, are you kidding me?
Gomar, what's good, man? I appreciate you.
Yo, dude looks. I'm a chill, bro.
It was CNBC, as Matt had astutely pointed out.
Bro. He looks terrible.
Is that mustache crooked, or is it just me?
No, the mustache is crooked, and you know what? His neck is crooked, and his eyebrows are teased, and his ears are huge. He looks like a freaking mongrel, bro.
Man.
Yo, Vince is horrible looking. And I'm going to put this on the record. I'm not talking about his age. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm saying, dude looks terrible. Yo, no cap, bro. Like, holy crap, bro. Vince looks bad, bro. Like, I don't know what he sees when he looks in the mirror. Like, he doesn't even look like himself, bro. Like, he looks terrible. Wow.
Yeah, man. Conor McGregor put up this trolling photo, I think, as soon as we were hearing rumors of this. Could it be? Maybe. I don't know. I would like to see him get into wrestling, though. If he can control, like, what he says, watch his mouth a little bit, I think he'd be all right. I think people wouldn't like him backstage, but in the ring, it's all business. J-Hub says, it's me, and as always, give me a shell, yeah. Shell, yeah. That's the fishing line. Shark boy, baby. And always, Vince, new look gives me a Speedy Gonzalez vibe. What? WWE might go TV 14, someone said. I don't see them doing that still. Why? Why would you? What do you think, Sean? Would you try to amp it up?
I think we would want them to amp it up. I don't think they will.
Once again, fan perspective versus our business perspectives, too.
Exactly.
Matt said that black box was a blessing.
Can we just stop for 1 second, bro? Shout out to McKinney. We're going to get to you. Like, Conrad, you know me. We become friends, bro. This is not just a podcast thing for us. Vince looks bad, bro. Like, I'm not joking. There's something wrong with him.
He's older, man.
No. I just said it's not about age. There's something wrong. Like, he looks. I don't even know what word to like. He doesn't look old to me. Like, he's old, obviously, but he looks like he looks bad. Like, I don't know how to.
I mean, bro, he's getting Botox. You could tell he's getting.
Okay, so maybe that's what it. Okay, maybe that's
he's trying to look younger, and it's not working.
Oh my goodness! Like, what happened to him?
Yeah, it can only go so far doing that stuff.
Wow.
You try to look younger, save your skin. Father time waits for no one.
Thank you, man. I mean, and I want to be clear to you and the fans in the chat. Like, I'm not making fun of him as a human. Like, I'm saying I'm concerned. Maybe that's a better word to use. I'm concerned about how he looks.
Yeah. I think I'm just used to it at this point. Ask Rasheed Wallace about being a ref target. Game 7 in San Antonio, they gave the Pistons the golden shovel treatment. Woo. Ari looks like he hires people to steal rare art or portraits or something. Deanna said he looks like a joke of himself. Vince is ready to star in Fantasy Island reboot. Somebody said Gomez. Do. Vince is M. Bison. We need the Young Bucks, Kenny and CJ. I told you this earlier. We need CM Punk to take down the evil. That's up to TK if he wants to do that. Vince turned into James Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man. Like when you're having some legal issues, why is this the time you decide to change up your look too?
Wait a second. That might be the point of. Can we? Maybe we should start doing that part. The point of the night.
That could be.
That was strong. Put that up again, bro. That was strong. And I know you put an LOL in the end because you were probably trying to be a little bit funny, but that's actually a decent take. I like that.
I think it's a new perception though, like a new feeling, like, oh, this is the new Vince McMahon.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Not bad, BJ. That was pretty good, man.
He didn't want to be viewed by his talent, also probably the same way when he was walking back into WWE. It's like, no, I'm cool, Vince. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool.
No doubt. Wow, very strong, very strong.
Yeah, Doug agrees with the J. Jonah Jameson. I think the main question we should be asking is, what is poor Carl Anderson going to do? Send some positive vibes his way. No. He made that choice again to come back to WWE. There is no remorse from me for Carl Anderson because I don't know if you burnt bridges with New Japan, but you dipped out on them. You dipped out on Impact, and AEW didn't want you anymore. So guess what? You get what you get. That's how I feel with some of them. Robert Julia, a.k.a. Gomez, a.k.a. General M. Bison. Vince McMahon looks absolutely horrid, and I'm going to leave it there.
Right, Quills? Right, Quills? Like, for real, bro. Like, thank you. For real. Jeez.
Deanna said he could be sick. Could be sick.
You know what? Wow, Deanna. Wow. Another strong point that none of us maybe thought of. You never know, Deanna. Well, very sound thinking on your part. You never know.
Someone said based on the recent sponsorships, they could change the age rating a bit. Are people ready for all of these other things that happen too? Like, we look at all of this, bro. The sponsorships. Cinnamon Toast Crunch sponsored Rey Mysterio taking off his belt and beating his son. Yeah. Like, just think about that for a second in a match. And I get it. The belt thing's a silly spot for them to just do because, you know, rah, yay, people will cheer. But Cinnamon Toast Crunch sponsored a match. It wasn't like that before. Vince never liked having ad space on the mat. The mat was for the wrestlers. I think he always felt. He kind of always had like an old school approach to it. And in New Japan, we see that. And in AEW, we see that. And I like it. It's different. It made them stand out. But now do you think we're going to see that stuff in WWE?
I do. I think it's going to be more based or laced in promotional spots. I mean, you had the main event sponsored this year. You had, you know, the Sheamus and Drew and Gunther match sponsored, as you mentioned, the Mysterio match sponsored. We're going to see a lot more going on, man. Yeah, something going on, man.
Right? Maybe that was a test to see what he did there. These guys are going in with the names. I agree. Vince looks like he has a bad spirit. Craig said.
Craig, going spiritual. I like it, bro. I like it. I wasn't going to go there. I'm not going to elaborate because we're going to keep having fun. Very much what I was thinking, Craig.
Yeah. I see a lot of comments in here. Some of these I cannot repeat, guys, just for the record. Yeah. Boss, the plane, y'all tripping in the chat. Yo, sent you something. Derek, this better not be nothing ridiculous. What is this? Oh, okay. Okay. I saw that. Shout out to Charlotte Flair, giving a congratulations to Rhea Ripley. Much appreciated. Should have been a chocolate, he said. Terrible. My grandmother used to always say people end up looking like all the life decisions they've made throughout their life at the end of their life.
Strong, sick with it. Strong. My grandmother used to say that too. Strong. Yes, sir. Now, we're getting heavy on this show, bro. That's what I was trying to tell you. I know that you know that I like to have fun and joke around and stuff. But when I was talking about Vince's look, Craig brought it up, Sick with it brought it up, Deanna with a strong point as well. It looks like something's wrong. You know what I'm trying to say, Conrad? And at the end of the day, you know, Vince has not been the greatest human being. Not standing in judgment of him, but it's just really unfortunate. Like, I mean, it's just he's become this guy that, you know what? Matter of fact, this is probably a better way to put it, bro. And you can correct me or agree with me. And chat, you can correct me. You can say agree or disagree. Vince hasn't been the best human being, right? And it's starting to manifest itself in how he looks. That's what I think it would. Maybe that's what it is. And chat, please say if you agree with me or disagree with me. And Conrad, please, you as well. I think his look is a manifestation And I'm being very serious. I'm not joking. Be a manifestation of the life that he's lived, similar to what Sick was talking about. I think it's starting to show like he's not a good man, and now he looks the part. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And some people are asking, what's the deal he made? Listen, I can tell you guys this. This is not going to be
man, Conrad, we're going somewhere we've never gone before, baby. And you know I'm a spiritual guy, man. You know, I don't come on here to preach. I'm a Christian. I don't shove my religion down people's throats. But man, there's something going on. Like the chat is feeling me, I think, bro.
Yeah. Listen, wow. Vince said a lot of stuff. I kind of want to put a little happy ending. Well, it's not really happy. I actually want to warn people. I guess is the best way to put it. If Vince McMahon, it's good to see Vince McMahon understand that for his World Wrestling Entertainment empire to take a step forward, he needs to take a step back. After offering excuses for WWE's poor creative product, blah, 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 and previous decisions, yada, yada, yada. Here's the highlighted piece, and I did not highlight this. Vince said to look at a longer range of story arcs and work on character development versus being in the weeds. This was what was said when Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff were put in charge. Remember that? I was a little excited, and then I remembered to not be foolish.
Yes, I do.
He said the exact same thing today. Guess what? Vince was right in the weeds very quickly after that. Eric Bischoff didn't even last that long, and Vince was right back into the weeds of things. So how long do you think this is going to last before that happens again?
It's hard to say, but you know something, I'm a firm believer that what's done in the dark comes to the light, brother.
It will. It will. And people are saying, I totally agree. Karma is coming. Jocelyn has joined us. Hello, Jocelyn. We're at the point in any American sports where we're choosing the lesser of two evils. Vince is just trying to look young. Conrad, watch a happy ending. Sorry. Bad terms. I mean, not to be Gabby gossip, but this man allegedly rumored to have covered up. I can't say that. Now he's starting to look like someone who's starting to experience covering it up again. Allegedly. Ooh. And sometimes
we went to a heavy place tonight, man.
Yeah. Vince booked last night's main event. I'm convinced.
I'm gonna say something to you, Conrad, on the air. It's been my dream to work for years. For years, it was my dream to work for WWE. And my mom and dad sat me down. I'm talking about me as like a 35-year-old man, right? Sat me down recently and was like, you know what? Maybe there's a reason why they haven't called you. I'm like, what are you trying to say? I suck? And they're like, no. They're like, look at who you be working for. And I was like, you know what? Wow. I mean, I got chills. All my parents said to me was, and my girl was sitting in the room too, they were like, look at who you be working for and just think, is it worth it?
Touche. Let's get into...
we better get into something before we get kicked off the air, brother.
This is true. We're going to transition. I promise y'all there will be more WWE sale talks and when rumors hit and everything else. This was the ending of WrestleMania. I can definitely say for myself, I did not predict this as my choice. We did predictions last week.
I did.
I took Cody to win, and we got this picture. And I think this picture is going to be used to tell another story, though, of Cody. He looks like he's down and out. Roman has the world in his hands still. He was able to get away and pull away with a victory over Cody Rhodes. I saw a fan get angry. He threw his water bottle down. People were looking at him like he was crazy. He ran up to scream, and then right when he went to scream, Roman's pyro went off, and I know he had to be tight about that too. Like, what did you think of the finish, the ending? Derek, cut it out. He said he rejoiced quietly in my soul. Sean, stay far, far away from WWE as you can.
Hey, Quills, I hear you, brother. You reap what you sow. This is on a much different level. Cody's not known for being a bad human being. It's not a Vince. The Vince. When I said that for Vince, different ball game, very spiritual, very heavy. This is very light. I'm talking about with Cody, but Cody made some bad decisions. All I'm saying is, a handshake deal doesn't exist anymore, and unless him being world champion was in his contract, anything is subject to change. Last night, Cody got what he deserved. I said it. I said it because Cody, he went to the mountaintop and he fell short. And I'm telling you that I saw this coming, bro. You tell me. Did I not? I told you I saw this coming.
We said on the prediction show, it wasn't a foregone conclusion. Cody was winning. Like, if you ever asked me to stamp a match where I was like, I know that this is the outcome, that wasn't my match for sure. I said, nah, I think there's a chance Roman could win. We both
Cody.
knew, but so let me defend. Let me be the Cody guy here for a second, because I had the Cody shirt on last night. Even listen, you know how I feel about Cody, especially in recent times.
I do.
But this, if you were going to give Cody the belt, I think this was the best chance, because while you're watching Raw tonight, in about 58 minutes, when you're watching Monday Night Raw, the Raw after Mania, if someone new debuts and they can fit in that box, that main event picture box, you have blown Cody's opportunity. It'll be gone.
And my soul, mid-card, Cody Rhodes.
Them Cody Rhodes fans about to be tight in the comments. Please
enjoy the United States Championship, Cody. Enjoy the Intercontinental Championship, Cody.
I think they might miss out on their chance to really do this for Cody. BJ was tight. He said he thought the finish was bullish. Roman Reigns making people quit WWE. Deanna said, I didn't think Cody was winning. Look at Cody's overall story arc. He can't finish the match to prove himself. He ran away when he couldn't do it. The ending of Cody and Roman's match was absolute trash and a complete and utter farce. Quill says.
And my soul. Opening matchup of SummerSlam, Cody Rhodes.
Rick said I would have been 2-6 on night 2. Yeah, night 2 was rough, man. Night 1 over night 2, it seems like to be ever since they started the 2-night manias, I feel like that's been the better way to go. Night 1 over night 2. Watch on Saturday, not so much on Sunday. D said I had a bucket ready for those who cried last night. Derek is mean. He's a mean soul. Derek, I gave it a standing ovation. Doug says something else has to be talked about and has yet to be mentioned. Kevin Owens is a Grand Slam champion now.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. Yes.
I forgot about that.
Big deal. It's a huge deal.
My heart wanted Cody, McKinney says, but my mind knew that they were just going to let Roman get to them 1K days.
We said 1,000 was a sexy number.
He might be sitting on that throne in sweet Saudi money. We'll have to see. Cody got sunned. He wrote that last night too in the chat. It was a sad week for popular baby faces to win. Briscoe, Kingston, and Cody. Yeah, they seem to be going with the sad storylines with them. This is a sign to anyone coming over. You could have been made a superstar. You could have made a superstar. You blew it. Yeah. How do you think that progresses? If you're an AEW locker member right now, Sean, what do you think seeing Cody lose now? Does that lessen, like, would you still want to go there? I still think Cody does it. I still think Cody's the guy that does it. If they can get this story over. Tonight's going to be very telling though, bro. Like you got that little smart look on your face right now, and I don't like it. I want it gone. What do you think?
I don't see how dumb you could possibly be if you're Cody Rhodes and think you can do and say everything you did and said for 3 years and then come back 7 years and then come back and think, hey, que sera. Sean
made that meme of Cody smashing the throat and said he didn't forget.
What Water under the bridge. You know what, Cody? If you come over here, you'll be world champion. No, we don't have to put it in the contract. Trust me, kid. I got you. I'm talking about, let me tell you something. I would not be surprised if Cody got to Los Angeles this weekend and thought he was going to win the title, and they said, oh, by the way, we thought about it. We're going to switch it up. Cody's just getting what he deserves, bro. Cody's just getting what he deserves. Cody, I'm telling you, adrenaline in my soul. Mid-card, Cody Rhodes. It's over. I'm predicting it, bro. Maybe SummerSlam he'll have another a rematch or something. It's over. It's over. Cody Rhodes.
Wait, what part is over? You gotta specify what you mean by it's over.
I do not believe Cody Rhodes will be world champion in 2023.
Okay. Sick, just plain mean. Get that Stardust makeup ready. This was the story BJ said. Why do I care about Cody beating Roman now? I don't. Last night I did.
Last night you did, BJ. And you know something? Last night would have made the most sense. But you know what? Cody got screwed. I'm not saying Cody didn't get screwed. Cody got royally screwed. But Cody brought this on himself. Since when is Triple H and Vince and all these people, since when are they trustworthy people? Since when are we putting all our chips to the middle of the table and saying we believe that WWE is going to do right? These are the same, I'm getting loud again, Conrad. These are the same people that put you in makeup and called you Stardust. Like, they don't like you, bro. And then you went away, created their only competition, took a sledgehammer and slammed it on a figurative throne to say, F you, Triple H. And now that same man is in charge, and you think things are going to go well for you? Am I the only person not? Cody screwed himself. And Cody got exactly what he deserved last night. Cody should have won the title. There's no question Cody should have won the title. It would have been a feel-good story. It would have been amazing. But Cody Rhodes brought this on himself, Conrad, and I want you to tell me yes or no.
You know how I feel about this. I think that Cody lost a lot of fans. And this isn't the whole like, oh, he left AEW thing. Take AEW out of this. Even if it was New Japan, you talked a lot of stuff and then did all that too at the same time. Sean, I think I sent you a picture on night one.
Yes,
do you remember that picture?
Yes, you did. Yes.
What did that picture depict on that night? Cody Rhodes. Hold on, I'm gonna find it because I want to use the exact words that were put on this. I believe I texted to you. Here it is.
Yep,
Here it is.
Yep.
A guy on a bike holding a stick. Cody, he said this. Want to be an EVP until I die. AEW unrestricted. The guy then takes the stick and puts it in between the front bike wheel and between all the spokes. Says Cody books himself to never challenge for the title again. Then you see the guy's bike falling over with the stick in between, and he's holding his leg. Cody, I wanted to be a wrestler and not a coach. What I'm saying is Cody, people saying like, oh, AEW booked Cody wrong. No, Cody booked Cody wrong. Cody was saying things. He was writing checks that his butt couldn't cash is what happened.
There you go.
And he shouldn't have been saying some of the stuff he did. Did he make mistakes? Yes. I liked him as an executive, though. But when you talk like that, you got to talk like that. You got to stick with it and stay with it. Can this situation be rectified with AEW? All the mistakes, the whole what happened with him? Yes, because I think there's a way out of that storyline. The question is, does Tony Khan want to do it? That's up to him. But Cody then coming back to WWE and then smiling, and they don't mention AEW until the last 2 weeks of this. I think they made some mistakes in the setup of this. Cody winning from the number 30 spot, that wasn't
stupid. Stupid. I'll say it for you. That was totally ridiculous.
I just don't think it was the best look. But I do think they should have pulled the trigger last night. If Cody was going to win, that was the time to do it. I don't know how the fans are going to react now. Some people are going to feel differently about this. Some people are still going to be excited about it. But we have to see the overall, how the IWC is going to treat this or how the wrestling community is going to treat this. Are you still into Cody? We're going to find out tonight when we watch WrestleMania. What is it? Raw After Mania, excuse me.
Yes, Raw After Mania was probably going to be nothing. But okay, we'll see.
Let's see here. Below average. Best was ROH Supercard of Honor. NXT and Stand and Deliver was better. No cap. I watched Stand and Deliver. The problem with NXT doesn't feel like the old takeovers used to me at least. It doesn't have that big.
The main event delivered though, because the right guy won. Thank God.
Oh yeah, Carmelo. I've always liked Carmelo the best out of when they went to 2.0. Carmelo was the guy. I thought. I love Cody, but I had to face reality yesterday. Gomar said. I trust Tony Khan's booking on Mark and Eddie to end the story positively. I don't trust WWE with Cody. Ooh,
how could you, ML? How could you? I agree with you completely. Why are we trusting WWE to do the right thing? Hello, McFly.
Will said, I wonder what MJF's thinking now about that bidding war of 2024. I think MJF's not going to be bringing that up for a little bit. I think
but let me say, I'm glad you brought that up, Quill. See, at least MJF is playing it smart. I don't like throwing water on kids or drinks on kids. That's a different conversation. But as far as the way he's manipulated this bidding war of 2024, he'll say, yeah, I'm here in AEW. I'm the AEW World Champion. This is the most important championship in the world of professional wrestling. But he doesn't talk crap about WWE. You know why? You know why? Because he's not an idiot. He's not a freaking idiot. He's not sitting up here running WWE into the ground and then going to WWE thinking that they're going to roll a red card. Who the hell do you think you are? Who the hell? You know what, Conrad? You know what, Conrad? You suck, man. You freaking suck. I can't stand you. EPW stinks. I hate your freaking show. I wish that your show would go off. Everything pro wrestling is hot garbage. By the way, do you think I could be a guest on your show next week?
Yeah, I got you if it's bringing in ratings, kid.
What kind of freaking dummy are you, Cody Rhodes?
But I'll say this though. Come
on, bro. Tell me I'm wrong about what I'm saying, bro.
You're not. I'm about to tell you why MJF is smart. I'm piggybacking off of you, actually. Bruce Pritchard had to work for MLW. Bruce Pritchard was in Impact and MLW and other places for a little bit, just going place to place for a while, just helping out with his WWE knowledge. MJF was able to make relationships with Jim Cornette, Bruce Pritchard, these people who were just coming in because he knew they've already been there. I want to be there, so I need to listen to them. With Regal, he made a relationship with Regal even. These dudes know. They know what they're doing. They're making these moves, and they're trying to make it happen. I understand. Like I said, I know some people are going to disagree with me about what I said about Cody, but I stand behind that. Cody played Cody. We said that from the beginning. We've both felt the same way. Cody played himself in that situation.
Cody will be NXT champion.
Sean, is there any way, if I told you, Sean, we're in the room, Hunter, I'm Triple H. Sean, how do we book Cody Rhodes after this? Because I want to put the belt on him. What would you do?
You're saying if I have good intentions, if I want to do the right thing?
Oh, yeah. He books you to do the right thing. He's like, what can you do? How can we repair him?
Okay, well, if we're doing the right thing, which I don't think they're going to do, but if we're doing the right thing, then we're having him win Money in the Bank and get another shot at SummerSlam.
Okay.
That's how we do the right thing.
He cashes in like a baby face, like I'm telling you when I'm cashing in. None of the cheapness.
I think it actually would be smart to cash in like a heel and just see where the chips fall. It worked for Dolph Ziggler, even though they dropped the ball. It did not work for others. I think you roll the dice. I think he cashes in heel style, surprise after a main event. It doesn't do that much damage to Roman. Maybe Roman goes on vacation then, having lost after having a really big win against whoever, and then losing to Cody afterwards on a quick cash in. But yeah, that's how you do it correctly. If you want Cody Rhodes, if I'm WWE, if I'm Triple H, if I'm whoever, and I'm trying to do the right thing, that's how I would do it.
Tokyo brings up a good point. If Jay White comes, Cody hype dies. That's exactly what I'm talking about, though.
That's a fact.
One big return tonight, it's over. Yeah. Hey, at least Cody got that buzz. Six said, yo, can I mention this now? I'm not gonna front. When Cody got off the bus, did you see it? I saw this afterwards on the pre-show. He got off the bus with like his daughter, Brandy, holding her and all that. Cody kind of had the boo-boo face.
What did I just say? Well, bro, what did I just say to you before? I said he probably got to Los Angeles thinking he was going to be the champion.
Yeah, he was at that Hall of Fame politicking sitting next to Triple H. They were talking and laughing and having a good time. And then Sunday happened, and I was like, first, if I was John, maybe he's getting ready for the big match.
Are you telling me? No. Are you telling me that you don't think that it's outside the realm of possibility that Cody got word Saturday that he wasn't going to win?
I don't know.
Please, I don't put nothing past those guys. They could have told him that morning.
I don't think decisions are made until you get to that building that day. Then
I disagree with that. I disagree with that in the sense that when he won the Royal Rumble, I think the premise was for him to be the champion. I think through Elimination Chamber, the premise was for him to be the champion.
But I'm saying that final decision, like you could be Sean. I can tell you're winning the belt, you win the Rumble, you win the Chamber, you win everything, and then that day comes. I'm like, Sean, by the way, we got a new guy coming in. Right. Sorry, kid. Right. I appreciate you though. You know that's how wrestling works too. Take AEW out of the equation, just like Deborah. Jocelyn said, "Don't get emotionally invested in WWE. Do what I did. Just watch once a year."
I like that.
Cody winning was a good idea. You know what that means.
Hey, BJM, I appreciate
like a good idea. Look at the chat. Doug going in. You know what that means.
Thank you. Y'all like my quote. That's awesome.
Cody should have been the biggest, longest reigning heel champ in AEW. Johnny Gargano should be booked to how he was booked in NXT. I'm over Gargano, man. I'm over it. I just don't know. Listen, they got to put him with Tommaso Ciampa. That's all I can say. Black and gold NXT shows used to outdo WrestleMania. Fact.
True.
They said MJF is smart. Quill says, don't trust WWE. Of course not. The smart wrestling fan already knows better. What do we always do in regards to the WWE? Sounds like a good idea. You know what that means.
Quills, I appreciate you, brother.
I agree with Sean. The only way to salvage it is Cody wins Money in the Bank. I think that'll make him cash in a more honorable way.
No doubt, ML. Appreciate it.
Six says, my question still remains. If not Cody, then who? And don't say Jay White. 85% of the WWE fans aren't going to know who he is. Yeah. I think more people know who he is. See, people. Yeah. I think people start playing when they do that stuff, too, with AEW. Mm-hmm. I think they're fronting with some of it. And they say they're going to make him a star, going to go from Switchblade to Candyman. Ooh.
Well, I think there's a Jay that can do it, but his last name isn't White. But you know what? You know what's sad, though? I'm going to throw it out there, bro.
Z? Who you referring to?
No, I'm talking about Jey Uso, but you know what? It may be too late, bro.
It could. We gotta see how they react to him tonight too.
Nah, but I'm saying, like, again, bro. I'm not okay. I gave you my word in pre-production. I gave you my word last week that I would not be that guy anymore. Everybody knows how I feel about Jey Uso. I'm just gonna say it this one last time with a little bit of a caveat from last night. I think we've crossed over. I think now it's too late. I think the ball is officially dropped. I think him turning on Roman Reigns now would be pointless. They dropped the ball. It's over. My dream of Jey Uso being in the main event in 2023 is officially over.
Triple H gave Cody the wink and the nod at the Hall of Fame only to pull the rug from underneath him at WrestleMania. WWE did better by a kid, better than the people who work with them. Matt Cardona comes back and wins the title before Cody. I don't see Matt Cardona headlining, especially if it's Zack Ryder. I just don't see it. Do you?
Deanna, you've made some wonderful points tonight. Matty Cardona, I don't know. I don't see it.
I think he's raised his stock, but
yeah, he's raised his stock, but that high, I don't know.
I would have to see how he's presented. That would be key. Cody played himself. I keep telling y'all.
Facts.
Jay went too quickly back to being a straight up bad guy, so I don't know if they can pull the full switch again.
They can't, BJM. God bless you. They can't. They blew it. BJM. Conrad, they freaking blew it.
Yep, maybe Roman gives the Usos crap about losing the tag titles tonight, and that slowly leads them over the edge. Could be.
Oh, sick with it. I appreciate that, but I don't know. Something in my gut tells me, Conrad, you tell me what you think. Something in my gut says it's too late now.
Nothing's ever too late, Sean.
Oh, God.
You just got to book it right. I can tell you about this time. There was this guy named The Rock.
Oh, man.
He tried to put himself over me.
You know what's really sad, bro? It's sad because, I mean, they clearly dropped the ball. First of all, they didn't go all the way with Sammy, but maybe it could be argued, chat, let me know. It could be argued maybe that Sammy being world champion was not believable. Okay, maybe. Do I think he was hot enough in his run to possibly get over the top? 50-50, right? But maybe the tag titles, winning the main event of WrestleMania Night 1 was as high as he can go. Okay, we could agree to disagree. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Jey Uso was ready-made for superstardom. Ready-made for superstardom, and they straight up said no. And then, Conrad, my brother Conrad, not only do they say, Sammy, you're great, you've had a great year, but not quite there to be world champion. Not only do they have Jey ready-made for superstardom, and they literally say no, but then you thought that at least Cody would save the day, that at least after the disappointment of Jey, that Cody would get it done, and we didn't even get that. It's comical, Conrad. It's comical how bad WWE is, bro. They suck, man. I mean, this is hard to defend. This is bad.
It is. Listen, I give the chat credit, though. They're trying to come up with some ideas. Derek says, I don't think it's too late. You could have Jay's frustration, have him turn on Roman because of Roman's anger towards the Usos. That's the same thing Sick mentioned. It's
Derek, my brother, Sick with it. I hear you. But last night, Jey Uso looked like he was firmly entrenched in the bloodline.
I hear you, bro. But I'm saying I think it depends on how the crowd is going to react and see it, because that's what got you invested in Jey. The people will guide you. Let's see how they feel in that building tonight.
Okay, we'll see.
Quills makes it sound like he's going to be watching. He'll be more entertained by the men's college basketball game between San Diego State and UConn.
I think you might be right. I don't have any high hopes.
I got UConn for the dub, by the way. Just random pick there. Somebody said, "Where's Heath Slater? He needs to come back and fill the 3MB prophecy." Doug said. First off, he's an Impact, number one. But first hour of Raw is announced as commercial free. You know what that means? It'll be mad.
Yeah, you know what that means. That means a 30-minute match between Dolph Ziggler and Omos.
Yeah, man, they made Jinder Mahal the champ. Don't agree with it at all. Don't get me. Jinder Mahal was one of the worst nights ever for me. Sean ain't trying to smoke that hopium.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you know what? Hopium, I did. Look, Positively E, everybody, McKinney, all you guys, Sick with it, Quills, ML, Derek, all you guys. I appreciate y'all so much. Deanna, y'all know how I feel about Jey Uso. And it's not just about Jey Uso. It's about organically over guys. And Jey got over organically. I said it before. I'll say it again. Jey stood in the corner at Royal Rumble while 70,000 people chanted his name. He didn't do anything but look at Sammy, look at Roman, look at Sammy, look at Roman, and walk out the ring. It was right there for him. And WWE, Conrad, my brother, WWE said, we hear you fans. We understand what you want. The answer is no. There's no excuse for that.
Does your voice matter? Ask yourself that question when you hear it.
We'll see.
Dolph Ziggler versus Ali in a 60-minute Iron Man match. I hope that's a joke, or is that for real tonight?
No, he's joking.
Okay. Ant won't stop. ANT, let's see. Ant definitely provided the song for us on night 1 and night 2, going into our WrestleMania shows. Ant, I'm always proud to show off his work. Proud of that, brother. Thank you so much, bro.
Good job. Good job. I listened back to that song. That was fire. Keep doing your thing, man.
Deanna said, I think Jey could be the guy if they let it.
Deanna, once again, my sister, do you think that's still that? I'm Jay's number one fan. Is it too late? I think it's too late. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I am.
Listen, before we get out of here, I want to mention one last thing here, Sean.
Yes.
There were some disgruntled people, I think, after night 2 of Mania. I don't know if anyone peeped what Bobby Lashley was like, and he came out on stage with his little Andre the Giant Memorial Trophy, held it up like he was proud. He lost his Mania match.
Yes, he did.
He was mad as heck, bro. Like, what did you think this man was going to do? How did you think he was going to feel when it came down to that? How did you think he was going to feel? He lost his match, and now we're sitting here wondering, well, maybe Lashley's going to get a match. And they gave a match to Shane. We gave a match to someone else, I think, night one, Pat McAfee, but we didn't have time for Bobby Lashley, your former WWE champion, Bobby Lashley. And he started liking some tweets where they were like, man, y'all got to do Bobby better than that. And some people had noticed it. And then they were screenshotting it and sharing it. And I'm not saying that to get this man in trouble, but I feel him on his frustration.
So do I.
We also saw people getting into it with people on Twitter as far as what's going on with some of these deals. We saw Asuka even like just talking back and forth with fans, just talking about she wanted to create chaos in the women's division. Some people were upset with all those things that happened. And listen, WWE did some good things. The whole Bianca Belair, I loved it. It touched me personally. The entrance, I wanted to see that representation matter, and I thought they did a good job. And then Triple H telling that story about the girl's mother, absolutely beautiful. And I'm glad Bianca let her dance with her and gave her that moment. Those kids did a great job. So if anyone sees this and you want to know, did those kids do a great job? They did a darn good job. I was proud of them. And I love that moment. It means a lot to represent other cultures. It meant a lot when Rey Mysterio came out there in the lowrider, and then you heard Eddie's music. It just sent you through a wave of emotions. It brought you back to WrestleMania 20, probably. You were just getting memories of like, man, Eddie Guerrero was that boy, Rey's in the car with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg sitting there. This is like Super Bowl level stuff. So WWE did do some good things, but at the same time, it made you wonder about things like Finn Balor losing. How's he feeling? What's the next thing for Judgment Day? Is it worth it to keep some of these things going? I don't know. I was just sad for people like Bobby Lashley, the Bray Wyatt fans that didn't get to see Bray perform. Like, what is going on with some of this? There was just some things that I think they're gonna have to iron out. Triple H looked stressed when he walked in yesterday. Like,
well, and Triple H should make better decisions. Like I said, I don't have a problem with Triple H as a human. Number one, let me say this also. I want to piggyback off what you said. To that young girl who lost her mother, that was heartbreaking to hear. That morning, from what I heard, I think I heard correctly that she, a little girl losing her mom. That's, I'm getting a little choked up thinking about that myself. So, excuse me. Really, really sad. I don't know why that wave of emotion came over me just now. I felt it last night and I'm feeling it again. A little girl losing her mom on the biggest night of her life is, sleep in peace to the mother and God bless that young girl moving forward. That's obviously the moment, the note of the weekend for me, that young girl being able to survive that moment of losing a young girl, losing her mom, and then pushing forward at that young of age to still embrace her moment. Like, God bless. Just terrible. But wow. I
got you, bro. I see the chat mentioning Bobby and LA Knight. LA Knight's another name who you could have did something with. Yeah, he was definitely crushing the game, man. They had a lot of opportunities to do things, and they didn't.
I'm sorry, bro.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. We're keeping it a stack. This podcast is real tonight. E said he teared up watching the entrance. Eddie Guerrero's music had me smiling ear to ear. And someone said move Judgment Day back to SmackDown 2006. Yeah, and Deanna showing you some love there for it.
And just to man up a little bit, Bobby Lashley, that's a tragedy, man, as far as a career-wise. And I feel like him walking out with the trophy is nothing but, hey, Bobby, you want like 5 minutes of airtime? It's pathetic. Balor losing was the wrong move. Edge did not need that win. It's WWE doesn't make good decisions, man. They don't. Eddie's music amazing. Snoop entrance with Ray amazing. But WWE doesn't make good decisions, and it's just really apparent that they don't care about what we think.
Yeah, bro. Well, you know me. I'm captain 50-50 with them all the time. It's like you do one good thing, you do two bad, or you do two good things and one bad thing. It's always something there. Ant says he believes that Lashley's thing is a shoot turned into a work now. Maybe they're doing that. I don't know. But I just saw, and Drew McIntyre was the other person I wanted to mention. He gave the by hand wave because he feels like they don't value him at what he thinks he's valued at this point. Like I heard the two sides aren't close on money at all. I'm sure, the wrestler always wants a pay raise, and WWE's like, nah.
Well,
so I don't.
Is he close or something? Is he close to a contract date or something? Or?
Yeah. Contract's running out. So Drew obviously wants money. I'm sure things were promised to him. Drew also had the pandemic reign. Like sadly, that's not good. It's just I feel for Drew right now. So if you want him, buy his merch, scream his name, let him know. I don't know what that's gonna do, as we've mentioned before, but support the man. If you want to see him there, maybe it'll sway some decisions. That's all.
I mean this with pure sincerity right now. I know we joke around. You guys have embraced my whole catchphrase that you know what that means. But on a serious note, I've never thought Drew was world championship material. Forgive me. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I don't think he's a heck of a hand. And I think he's Intercontinental Championship worthy. I think he's tag title worthy. And I think in the right spot, he could be World Championship worthy. I think he earned his moment at Royal Rumble 2020. And I think he was a legitimate champion in 2020. It was bad fortune about the pandemic, as Conrad correctly pointed out. In 2023, do I see Drew as world champion? No. But if you don't give him that money he deserves to continue being, in my opinion, a top 10 guy in the company, shame on you. And Drew, go out there and find it somewhere else because, WWE, I feel like I'm repeating myself, bro.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing. He said, but I wanted Gunther to win, though. Listen. We're days closer to that honky tonk man's record being broken. That's the only thing that we can say about this. That is a positive spin. No, I like Gunther a lot. I think Gunther's got main event written all over him too. I think when the time is right, they're going to pull him up. And I think it's going to be sooner than later than people think when it comes to this. Sean, I want to give you the privilege and honor of sending us out. Promote anything you got coming up, brother. And take us on out of here, bro.
Just do me a favor, everybody, and subscribe to Hubbard Wrestling Weekly, just how it's spelled on YouTube. It would really mean a lot to me. That's all. To my brother and tag team partner, Conrad, love you like a brother. Appreciate you, man. I just want to piggyback off of what we just talked about, and I'm going to try not to get choked up as much as I did about 5 minutes ago. Wrestling, sports entertainment, sports in general, on my side, boxing, MMA, whatever, it means nothing as it relates to life. And I would just say in closing on this night that I want us to just remember the importance of life. Eddie no longer being with us, even though we're talking about 18 years ago, it still hurts. Owen Hart, Bushwhacker Luke today, and there's so many more. Rest in peace.
Butch.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Butch. My apologies. Thank you for correcting me. And then, a young girl wakes up on the biggest day of her life, right? The biggest day of her young life. And her mother is just gone. Let's continue to love on each other. I'm a man's man, I'm a man's man. But at the end of the day, I tell my lady, I tell my parents, my child, love on somebody, man. Love on somebody. Give somebody a hug. Give somebody a kiss. Give somebody a phone call. Shoot somebody a DM. And just tell them you love them because, tomorrow's promised to no one. As a believer, again, not going to preach to you guys. You know how I do it. I believe what I believe, but I don't run it down people's throats. But as a Christian, I do believe that when we lose our loved ones, we get a chance to see them again on the other side. But in the natural, on this earth, when we lose someone, it hurts. So take the opportunity to tell someone you love them right now, because tomorrow is promised to no one. And like I always like to say, man, a lot of evil in this world, but I'm a believer that evil never prevails. So be encouraged. Wrestling, boxing, all this fun stuff. Conrad, my brother, but most importantly, just keep loving people. Show love, because love is a game changer more than anything else. So God bless, and thank you guys for being with us tonight. We'll see you next week.